What's up, AKAPADers? Today we're discussing an age-old comic book controversy. Who created it? And in this case, Rob Liefeld, Deadpool. What work occurred when? Rob Liefeld now is on a media blitz. He wants you to know that he created Deadpool, not with Fabian Nicozizi, but him. And due to the state of the industry, he was robbed full credit. He's on record of stating this more than one time. But we got something to dissect, something very important. This will change the way you look at the creation of Deadpool. Let's go. AKAPADers, what is up, my friends? Guys, I'm excited. I love talking to Rob Liefeld, or talking about Rob Liefeld with all of you. It's a favorite subject of mine. And people, keep in mind, I champion, and I still champion Rob Liefeld my entire life. I was there during his rise. I was cracking open my sketchbooks. I was copying what he was putting down in X-Force and New Mutants. Of the Image founders while I was growing up, Rob Liefeld was my guy. I followed everything he did, from New Mutants to Awesome Comics, and I even gave Arcade Comics a shot. During this whole time, I knew he was controversial. I knew he was rattling cages on the internet. I never got involved on his forums or his other venues of reaching out to people. I think he used to be on one called Spinner Rack. People, but as of today, I believe I'm obligated to comment on things that don't exactly click. And when I investigate them, when I use the noggin, I get questions. So this is one of them. And I really need to scoot all the way over here. And guys, this is going to be my lane for this video because we're going to be putting a lot of images up here. But let's get into it. This is... What we're looking at here is Rob Liefeld's original Deadpool design sketch, what he showed Marvel to get Deadpool into New Mutants 98, because Marvel's like, hey Rob, we need to know what this guy's going to look like, just a little bit. You can do what you want with the book, but just a little bit. Can we at least see the character in case our higher-ups rain down on us and we can explain ourselves? This is why editors need to see what the artist is thinking. And, as of right now, there's a couple really righteous Twitter crusaders, raising the question. And, I'm not going to name names. I'm going to reach out to those individuals separately or tag them in this on Twitter. The reason is because I don't want to draw direct attention to them if they don't want this level of attention. But they started to raise the question. These are not Rob Liefeld drawings from the 90s. And look, from anyone's perspective, it just sounds like madness. Because it now is published. Complex did an article. Rob Liefeld is on record multiple times saying that this drawing is pre-New Mutants 98. Even though a colored version popped up. So what came first? Or why are we coloring something from New Mutants 98 era in Copic markers? Let's do some comparisons. What does Rob Liefeld's artwork look like from this era? So moving forward, we have to compare the proportions from this era. Rob Liefeld, we have a lot of documented design work from the mind of Mr. Liefeld. Contestant number 1. Here's the raw artwork of the Deadpool trading card included in X-Force number 1. Look at the long calves. Look at the long legs. Look at the short torso. Look at the extra wide shoulders. But look at Deadpool's face. The face! He's got some big eyes. Well, that's interesting. Moving on. Here we go. From Marvel itself. I believe this was from Marvel Age. Look at all of this design work of Rob Liefeld around the time of New Mutants. We see, again, high torsos, long legs, big arms. People, we're looking at a modern day Rob Liefeld proportions. Artists change through time. Rob Liefeld's proportions changed through time. During this era, this is what we were used to, easily identifiable. And here too, we got some more color samples. Have yourself a gaze. Tell me if you see any type of proportion, like anything similar proportion wise. Oh, here's the Eazy-E Gangsta designs, the NWA comic book that Rob Liefeld, famous picture by the way. Look at these proportions and look at how fast these designs were cranked out from Rob Liefeld's hand. You do have to give him credit. Rob Liefeld, I mean, we did see this on the comic book greats. He is very fast with those Sharpies. Sharpie was his prominent tool at the time. You can tell, you can always see like the bleed points in a lot of these sketches. None of these proportions even come close to what we're seeing here with Deadpool. And then we get the real kicker. Here's what he did for Young Blood. Look at Die Hard. Look at Die Hard. Look at Deadpool. You think there would be some similarities. They look like different artists. Rob Liefeld's proportions went from a George Perez, John Byrne emulation into the abstract that we got with him and New Mutants. There's very little crossover. It just seems like he jumped and transformed. But even if we look at this Deadpool and his previous work, Warlord, Checkmate, Hawk and Dove, it doesn't match up. I'm sorry. And then here we go, people. First appearance of Deadpool, awesome panel. Look at this. Look at the pencils. Look at the published panel. Look at the head. Look at the eyes. Rob Liefeld's original intent for Deadpool was smaller eyes. He drew giant Deadpool eyes for the original run of the character. You can say he drew those eyes for years. And to wrap it up, here's the modern day Rob Liefeld. Similar proportions, similar eyes, similar black spots on the mask. And you can kind of see that the modern day Rob Liefeld, in these designs, there's a little highlight that goes from the forehead down to the cheekbone. It's a great addition to a tag for the character. But I ask you, don't these look similar? Am I crazy? So, let's move all that to the side and let's scoot back over here. You might ask yourself, Pete, why would Rob do this? Why does Rob want to do this? Why is Rob seeking full credit? Why would Rob forge original Deadpool designs, dump them on social media, and basically run away from it, let some articles roll out, do his, speaking for him, do his validation for him? And the reason is this, okay? Rob Liefeld is a man of ego. Rob Liefeld needs to be sole creator of Deadpool, period. He needs that narrative to be 100%. A lot of what Rob Liefeld tells you on Robservations is in contradiction to Fabian Nicieza, the writer of New Mutants at the time. And people, we have to really be honest about why this practice exists in comics, okay? We get upset when we hear about creators like Jack Kirby getting, Bill Finger getting characters ripped from them, ripped from the corporate overlords, creators getting screwed over. The comic book companies, we have to benefit of the doubt. They understand how this stuff works more than us because they're in the dirt every single day. If comic book companies say, look, if we have multiple people on the book involved on this level of creativity, we have to be fair, and we are splitting the creator status. Some characters have 5 creators, some of them have 2. Yes, some of them have 1, but most likely every single comic book character ever at least has 2 creators, and that's just a way to be absolutely fair. You would think, as much as Rob Liefeld champions someone like Jack Kirby and other creators, he would also champion that he is a co-creator of Deadpool. But he is a man of ego. This is an absolute weakness of his. And he's using the Robservations podcast to rewrite history. And he's backing it up with work. Well, people, there's some things about this page here that a lot of you have missed. And we're going to get into that on a future video. Got to do some research before then. But here's the thing. It's not just the Deadpool proportions that I'm sniffing out here, aka Padders. There's something deeper, and there's something very clear and something very apparent. Now, with all of that said, thank God there's crusaders out there that care about what the truth is, or what is murky and why. It's okay to question people who have the loudest voice. That's what we're doing here. Rockin' and rolling, aka Padders, Peter A. DeLuca here, coming to you from the eclectic universe. I love you guys. Flex all day, rock and roll. Let me know what you think.